Hey there, welcome to the overview of the alumni strategy. Glad that you're here. I'm sitting here with Lindsay Large. She is a development coach for the campus ministry, and she helped to put together the alumni strategy on TeamGold along with me. We know that you probably have a varied idea of what an alumni strategy would look like. You probably have a couple different thoughts about what it could look like.
Yeah.
What we've done is we have talked to a lot of teams across Crew who have done alumni things and have had varied amounts of success. We've taken those parts that were successful, we've infused them with some development, like major partner work and things like that, and we put together the official TeamGold alumni strategy training. So the point of this video is to give you this like long-term picture. When you're done with all of this, what will it look like ideally? And that way, if we can all agree on that long-term vision, we can set our direction in a way that's going to get us where we all want to go. Okay, so the way that we've done this is we have 7 hallmarks of the alumni strategy, the official TeamGold strategy. We're going to take you through. I'll start with hallmark number 1. That is a community and an identity that is created for your alumni. What exactly do I mean by that? I mean, it's not just an annual list that sits in an Excel sheet and once a year you send out an appeal, right? That you just say, once a year you say, please give to us. That's not the vision that we have for this. We were talking about a community that you're creating. So you have online groups, social media pages, you're sending out regular updates. You might even have like a Zoom call with your alumni. You're really trying to build a community. Some of those will be in person. You might even have like an alumni night at your weekly meeting or an alumni weekend or something. But ultimately, you're going to be communicating regularly with all these people and encouraging them to reconnect with one another. You're creating this community so that they feel a sense of identity. They're kind of like, I am a part of Virginia Tech Crew alumni. That's a thing. I do that. That's the hope. We want them to feel a sense of ownership, that they're really investing in and helping with your ministry. So, Lindsay, do you want to move us on to hallmark number 2?
Yeah, I'd love to. So for hallmark number 2, kind of like Joe said with number 1, he's talked about creating the community, but now we really want to have other opportunities for alumni involvement that are not financial. So we really want them to feel the ownership. This could be maybe they're hosting Bible study events. Maybe they're getting to come to a winter conference, a fall retreat, maybe even making a dinner if you do weekly dinners. But really helping get involved with like owning the ministry and really becoming a vital part of what you're doing. And even like, what if one day, if you were doing a vision dinner, it was ran completely by your alumni network. So here with number 2, we're really just trying to figure out what are those ways apart from giving that they can feel really connected to your ministry.
Thanks, Lindsay. And hallmark number 3, right? I know we were talking about how we want to be a community. We want to focus on that. We are going to ask them to give, right? So don't worry. Don't get concerned. Hallmark number 3 is that alumni are giving to a legacy fund. Now, you might know what that is. You might not. Some teams and Crew have used a legacy fund, and we thought it was a good idea. We think it sounds like it's worked well. So let me explain to you what a legacy fund is. Instead of just asking alumni to give to your team in general, to Rutgers Crew, a legacy fund means, hey, would you please give to the Rutgers Crew legacy fund? That is a specific fund that is used for a specific purpose. Now, what are those purposes? You're going to choose a few of them. It could be, providing scholarships to conferences. It could be ministry supplies. It could be reaching freshmen. Could be putting on evangelism events. Whatever it might be, you're going to choose those few critical things that you want to fund with the legacy fund, and you're going to ask people to give to that. Now, what is the benefit of that? Well, by doing that, you're building this sense of trust, I think. Your alumni know, this is how I am supporting the mission. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. These things happen, and I'm helping X, Y, and Z. And because of that, you're really building that identity and that ownership of them feeling like, I know exactly the impact that I am having, and it's reportable. You can tell them the impact. You can say, hey, we had fall retreat. the legacy fund was used to scholarship this many students. These people came to Christ. All these things. It's an awesome way to set things up. So that's Hallmark number 3.
Yeah, which is so great, and even leads us into our number 4 of Hallmark number 4. It's giving begins with a small monthly gift, and so this could be anywhere between $5 a month or $25 a month, but really our target is about $10 a month, or something that is just the small ask that is an easy yes. We want to identify and really get their foot in the door as part of this alumni network that are helping fund those events that build up over time. Like a $10 a month gift is not going to be this like get rich quick thing, but it's really compounding. It's really helping build for the future. And even opens the door for future opportunities that we'll talk about. But it really is a qualifier of like, what is their inclination to give? How involved do they want to be? What are the other ways that we talked about earlier that they can be life partners with us, where they're using their labor, influence, finances, and expertise? So we're getting into the finance part, and really trying to provide a long-term, stable base of alumni that are giving for future team and team leaders to come into a healthy spot that have alumni that are supporting them.
I mean, what an exciting idea, right? I mean, that if you're a team leader now or you're on a team, think about the future, that a new team leader comes in and they go, I am so glad that those people before me did all this work because I am set. We have an alumni strategy that is set up and it is cooking, and all I got to do is keep this thing going. It's awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things that's most exciting to me about the idea of you guys planning an alumni strategy. So let's talk about Hallmark number 5. In addition to the smaller monthly gifts, you're going to be asking partners to give special gifts based on their interest, or the fancy word is their inclination. That means, they're giving those monthly gifts. You're cultivating a relationship with them. And as you cultivate a relationship with those individual partners, you are learning their capacity and their inclination. How much can they give? What do they care about giving to? What is the impact that God has put on their heart that they want to make in your movement? And let me give you an example. Say, Sarah is given $10 a month to your ministry. She graduated a few years ago, and you and your team need to raise funds for scholarshiping, providing scholarships to your fall retreat. And somebody goes, Sarah accepted Christ at fall retreat her freshman year, and it was obviously a super important thing to her. She was there every year, and that kind of tips the hat to you that you go, I'm going to go to Sarah, and I'm going to ask her to help with this. And she says, Sarah, I know you accepted Christ at fall retreat. It was really meaningful to you. We're trying to get more freshmen to fall retreat. Would you give $200 to scholarship 2 freshmen this year to go to fall retreat? Sarah, if she's able to, is almost certainly going to give that gift. And even though she's only been giving $10 a month, she gives $200 one time. That's more than doubling her support that she's giving to your team in this year. So Hallmark number 5, where you are asking for those special gifts, is really what begins to give a lift to your alumni strategy from a financial perspective.
Yeah, and I love that, of getting to use these things that are so near and dear to their heart to really uplift and keep our ministry partners. And so, well, what about graduating seniors? We've talked about our past alumni, but what about our future alumni? And so, yes, our alumni strategy also includes our graduating seniors. We don't want to forget about our future alumni. So students, we're hopeful that they'll get to see and experience the benefit from this thriving alumni network while they're in college. Like, what if they were a student that was scholarshiped fully to go to a fall retreat, a winter conference?
Right.
They were impacted by an outreach that you did, and all they heard was, you were able to come today because of the Alumni Legacy Fund. And so we really want for them to get to invest in future generations as well. Just how they've been invested in and impacted, we want them to leave their legacy too. And so you're not just asking them to give financially, but you're really inviting them into this community that we talked about as an alumni in whatever way they might feel called. So yes, we're going to start with that $10 a month challenge too, but what better person to ask to really get involved than somebody that has already bought into what you're doing?
Right. So that's, okay, that was Hallmark number 6. We're 6 out of 7. Hang with me. Here's
Almost
the last
there.
one. This is a big picture one. Hallmark number 7 is that the process of win, keep, lift is just baked into this over time, into your efforts. Now, win, keep, lift, if you're a development nerd like me, you're like, of course, win, keep, lift. But there are a few nerds like me in that regard. And so I'll explain it to you. Win, keep, lift is, crew has win, build, send. Development, fund development has win, keep, lift. It is our bread and butter. So what we're hoping to do is win partners to our cause, keep them by cultivating a relationship, keeping them engaged. They don't just give a gift and go away. And then lifting them to higher levels of partnership when the time is right. So win, keep, lift, if you take a close look at the alumni strategy and how we teach you to do this, it's win, keep, lift. You're going to find this group of alumni that you have, win them to your cause, cultivate relationships with each of them, and then lift them to higher levels of giving. That's stuff like, Sarah giving her gifts to help students go to fall retreat. So those are our 7 hallmarks. Hopefully that gives you guys a good picture of that desired future so that we can all strive towards it together. Now, you might be very overwhelmed right now when you hear all that, because you might be thinking like, I'm one person on my staff team, or I can't do all of this. Let me encourage you and remind you that you do not need to have a fully chugging along alumni strategy tomorrow, next week, next month, even in a year. It's not going to be at this point. We're just trying to help you look far down the road to what you'll eventually be doing with an alumni strategy. And that way, again, we can work there together. So thanks for being here. Lindsay, thanks for joining, giving your
thanks,
thoughts.
Joe.
And happy developing, everyone.